Hello, I'm Jagan from Grow with Data. Welcome to the Crack SQL Interview in 50 question series. In this video series, we will practice 50 SQL questions across various topics. I have created a playlist that organizes the questions by topics along with the corresponding SQL types. If you see my YouTube channel, there will be a playlist called Crack SQL Interview in 50 questions. So all the series videos will be posted into this playlist. So you can watch that series once I post the videos in. Now we can go into the first exercise in the Crack SQL Interview in 50 question series. In this video, we are going to start with the topic related to the select statement. Let's see the data set and we can talk about the question in detail. So the question is, we have to find the product ID that are both recyclable and having low fat. Okay, so the data given to us is a product table. Let's get the table structure. So we are given a product table which got a product ID which is unique to this table, and we have two flags, low fat and recyclable. So in column low fat, the value Y means the product is low fat, N means it's not. Same way in the recycle, if you say yes, that means the product is recyclable. If it's N, that means it's non-recyclable. So we are asked to write a SQL to find the product IDs that are both low fat and recyclable. Let's create the table first. Yes. So in this data set, if you see product 1, it got both the flags as yes, and product 3, both the flags are yes. For other products, at least one product is no, and for 4, both the products are no. So we have to find a way to get only these SQLs, right? So it's a basic SQL, and the output has to be, let me copy this. So the output has to be like this. We have to get the product ID 1 and 3 in this structure. Okay, let's comment this out and let's go to the SQL part. So in this exercise, we are going to see the basic select statement. Select from products. So when you want to say the product which is low fat and recyclable, right? So we just say where low fats equal to yes and recyclable equal to yes. So this is what the condition we are looking for, and what we are looking for in the select statement is product ID. Right? Okay. Let's run this. So we got it. It's a simple SQL, right? So what we have to understand, whatever we have to select or show that in the as output, we have to put that in the select statement. And if you want to filter the conditions, we have to use a where condition. Since we are not using any sum aggregation function like sum, max, min kind of thing, right? So we are not using any aggregation function. So the filter can happen in the where class. When we talk about the aggregate function, I can show you how to filter the records when you are going with the aggregate function. Okay, so this is a basic question, and we are using MySQL database. What if the input value is something different? Like if it's not case sensitive, right? If it's case insensitive, right? That means it can be uppercase or it can be a lower case, right? For example, if you say product 1, it says small y, and product 3 is all caps, or you can just say this as y, right? Let's run this. Okay. So if you see, the product 1 has a small y for low fat, and you got small y for the recyclable for product 3. Since we are using MySQL is case insensitive. That means even if you give capital Y or small y, it treats it as a same way. If you run this code again, you get the same output, right? even if you say small y, you get the same output. So MySQL is not case sensitive. But if you talk about Oracle, Snowflake, I'm not sure, but Teradata, Hive, those kind of databases, they are case sensitive. So they treat capital Y and small y as different. So in this case, let's go to the Postgre SQL. Okay, let's get the script and we go to the PostSQL and let's create the table. Let's run it. Okay, we have the table. Let's comment this out and let's get the SQL we tried in our MySQL. So here everything is in caps, right? So when you run it, you get the same output as products. Products does not exist from products. So we created the table, right? Let's try one more time. Okay. So we get the answer here. But if you change to small, right, and you run it, you don't get the result because here everything is caps and this is small. So how to address this? It can be small or it can be caps, right? So let's make the data as small. Right. So in that way we can play around with the SQL. Yes and yes. And here we try with all caps. Okay. So we truncate the table, we insert the new record and you see it shows 0 records because the condition is not working. So there are two ways we can address this. Let's comment this out. So how can we do that if there is a small and capital letters, right? So we can say in capital Y and small y, and we can just say in capital Y and small y. So now the database will check for the columns value which is capital Y or it can be a small y. Now you get the data, right? But what if instead of yes and y, that boolean flag, if it's a word, right? If it's a longer product name kind of thing, right? More than one character, then it can be like the first letter can be capital, all letters can be capital, there will be a mix of it. So the in statement is not that protective. So how to fix that? So simply we can say equal to y and we make sure the column is in uppercase. So what we are doing, we convert the column value, the flag itself as upper, and then we check the uppercase of the column name should be y. When you run this, it works. So whenever you have the case sensitive part, you can just try the conversion of that column. So if it's for example, I can just do a select statement. I can show you that. So say product ID low fat and then uppercase of low fat. You remove this from products. This is error, column low fat does not exist, low fats. Okay. So if you see low fat, which is small letter, it will be converted to a capital letter here, right? So now this column will be checked for the capital Y, right? So when we have the code here, when you convert that to uppercase, even the lower y becomes capital Y and it will compare with this y. So this is a better way of handling the case insensitive fields. So the question is very simple, but only thing is you have to know the edge cases, whether we have to use the where condition directly or whether you have to convert the values and check, or if there is any null values, how to handle it. In other videos we can just see how to handle null values in it. So this is the first video of our crack SQL interview in 50 questions. If you want to see the code, I will be having this is our playlist, but in our video section, the description part, I will be having the code section where you have the URL, right? When you click on the link, it will take me to the GitHub page where I will have the create statement and then the SQL I have used, right? So once you want to copy the code, you can just go to the video description, you can click on this, it will take you to the code. This is a previous video, a Python video, and you can get the code in the code section, and you can copy paste the code from the GitHub. Hope you like this video and thanks for watching.